Catherine Lido, who is a social psychologist at the University of Glasgow. What is your take on Love Island as a show?
Well, as a social psychologist, I'm really interested in how people behave in groups and sort of the crazy things that we do in groups we might not do when we're alone. So I think that's actually really the appeal of the show to a lot of people. It allows us to sort of peek into other people's lives, watch their social relationships, and sort of just compare our lives really to other people's.
Yeah, and it's been so dramatic as well. What do you make of all the drama and it all kicking off?
So I hadn't really watched. I'd seen a couple episodes before.
You hadn't watched it?
You're like John then.
That was my secret. I'd seen a couple of episodes before, but I think I watched them. And I can see a lot of pros as well as a lot of cons to the show. I mean, it really is a social bonding experience to talk to people about what's going on, and that is a really nice thing.
Can I ask you a kind of straight question, which is that I've watched some of it, and there's a bit of infidelity. There's a lot of chatting behind people's backs.
Yes.
There's a lot of double talk. You know, well, I said, is that just human life? Is that us watching ourselves on television? That's actually what we're like?
I think it's a version of human behavior, a sort of highly intensified. It's not reality, it's sort of like reality-based. But I think these principles of wanting to belong to a group, of having an us, and if you have an us, you have to have a them, and sort of, trying to boost your own self-esteem by maybe putting other people down. These are social psychological processes, but we're watching them in a really hyper, a magnified setting. And that can be a problem.
I think that's the thing. It's people, they're kept in this bubble of a villa for months. And we got a clip there of just how dramatic it can be. For the contestants in that villa, does their emotions, are they heightened because they just can't escape and it isn't like real life? Is that why we see more tears, more tantrums, more emotions?
I think that's true. And I think if you look at the gender roles as well, there's a sort of a sense of hyper-femininity and hyper-masculinity, and the whole body image and the ideals are very extreme. So I think you can see it in, not just the behaviors and the relationships, but and then the question is that part of the show? Are they trying to bring out this because that is drama. Human emotions, stress is dramatic. So as a psychologist, we're not allowed to put people under psychological distress.
And very briefly then, we were talking earlier about the psychology that the viewers go through as well, because obviously watching it, it's an emotional rollercoaster for us as well, watching it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think there's this idea that if you're really invested that this is true, real human behavior, then it could be quite psychologically damaging for the viewer or the contestant, because you don't have any space from it. It can become really negative role modeling of the alcohol and the risky sexual behavior. But if there's this idea that actually it's not truly naturalistic, real behavior, then you can have some distance from it, and then I don't think it's posing.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Catherine, thank you very much indeed. Jodie, thank you very much indeed. It's just like the newsroom.
Yes, Cossar, we're all wondering, what's the weather going to be like this weekend? What's in store?
Well, no tropical heat, I'm afraid. It's going to be quite cool, but there will be some sunshine as well, so that's the good news. So we had plenty of dry weather around today across parts of the very far north, but we had a cold front spreading further southwards, and that brought